Hi everyone, welcome to Carlos Creek Winery. I'm Shelly and I am the tasting room manager, and today we're just going to start a series of training videos, and today is going to be a basic day in the life as a server in the tasting room. To start out, I would like to point up the hill to the production building, and that's where the staff parks for the summer. This is the employee entrance door that we go into. If it happens to be locked, you'll see there's a doorbell up here. You can give that a ring and hopefully someone will come and let you in. Here we are in the back room, or the warehouse room of the Carlos Creek Winery. A lot of things happen in this area. This is where we house all of our wine in the tasting room. It's also for wholesale. There's Dan over there. Want to say hi, Dan?
Hi, Dan.
And we ship out a lot of wine from this room too. This is where we hang our coats and our purses and bags and personal items. And this is Dan's office, so that's all him. And here is our counter for the tasting room. On a Saturday, you'll typically see it full of treats, foods, snacks. And at this point, I want to just talk about our days get really long. We have 10-hour days. We're high-paced, busy. So eating, sit down, is kind of difficult. We try to do it early on in the shift, but as the day gets busier, as you know, as a customer service rep, it's hard to do that. So we always have snacks and things for you. You can have your water bottle or something to drink behind the bar. But this area generally has snacks for you. Now we're going to check out the back of the tasting room bar, where we spend the majority of our time. Here are the light switches. And of course, a really important thing, because we all want to get paid, this is what I refer to as till 4. And we use the POS, or square, point of sale, and you'll use your last 4 digit of your social security number to punch in and out. As I mentioned, we are on our feet a good 10-hour day on a Saturday. So I just want to start by saying, always wear good shoes that give you support and that are comfortable. We ask that you wear dark jeans, black, blue, mainly because we pour red wine and it stains. And nothing with holes in it, no shorts, no capris, no skirts, no dresses. The winery does provide a staff shirt. This is last year's model, wine pouring team. And we prefer that you wear those on Saturdays, and then other days that you're working, as you find when you are here, we have wonderful retail clothing that you will want to buy because they're just fabulous. So then we ask that you wear those on other days that you're working, which also encourages the customers to want to buy them as well. Now to show you around the back of the bar a little bit, we have 3 tills behind the bar, and once you're placed into a section, we have them pretty much set up the same. So you pan over here to take a look at the wine shelf. There are 5 of those, and they're set up exactly the same. Everything is in the right order. A little bit about the top shelf. These are exclusive to the winery, so people cannot purchase these anywhere but at the winery. These other ones, that's what Dan's job is he wholesales them to restaurants and liquor stores all over Minnesota. So everything is the same there. And then we also have, on this side of the bar, you have your glasses. We have stemmed and stemless, and I'll explain what we use the different ones for that for in a little bit. We also have all of our bags, and I'm not going to go into a ton of procedural stuff, but some of these bags I think I will. This is a 6-bottle bag. It holds 6 bottles. This one is 3 bottles. And I'm just going to show you quickly. bag bottle, I like to put 2 of them in a black bag. Fold that over neatly. And it gets slid into the white bag. Again, fold that top over neatly. And then stick the one in the center. It kind of helps it from bouncing around. The 2 bottle bag is smaller, and you can bag 1 of the bottles of wine and then slide the other one in beside it. And of course, if they purchase 1 bottle, here's the black bag for 1 bottle. And we'll go into tastings later too, but when they do the tastings, they get to take home their glass. So that's what the tissue paper is for, and that's on the top shelf. And you're just going to wrap up their glass with the tissue paper and either place it in the bag or give it to the individual. We generally have about 23 to 26 wines. Don't be intimidated by that. I have worked on really hard at some training things, little cheat notes that you can help describe the wines to the customers, and you will pick that up in no time at all. It gives a little description, it tells you what grapes are in the wine, and everything from your whites to your reds to your fruits are all there. Then I also made a big binder that, and I'm very visual learner, so I made sure you had your pictures to kind of go off your labels. And then we have a great team that will also help you with any questions you have and will help you navigate through all of these wines. So when we get here in the morning, we have a series of cleaning that needs to be done. So the first person that generally gets here grabs the tote, and I will show you where that is stored, and we clean the bathrooms. Then the second person that comes in the door, of course, we sweep, and it's a large room. So the third person that comes in the door, they get to mop. And we have 2 mop buckets, so usually we put 2 people on mopping of the floor. Then we have areas that we need to vacuum. There's a rug by the front door, there's a rug by the second entry. We vacuum behind the bar, all the bar mats, and then there is a rug back behind with the entrance, the employee entrance that you guys came in. We vacuum that as well. The dishwasher to wash glasses needs to be turned on. We need to stock our bags that I showed you earlier, and I will show you where those are in the back room. And we also need to make sure our wine fridges are open, and it depends on how busy we think the weekend will be, how many bars I open. I usually open 2, so we have to get all of our red wines uncorked and our whites ready to go. Make sure our windows on the front door and entry are clean, no smudges. And then there's always stocking of the wine to do. And I'll show you later where all those are kept back in the warehouse. So these next rooms I'm going to show you are where we store supplies and the mop and the vacuum. So come on in. This first area holds a lot of our dry toilet paper, paper towels, cleaner on this shelf. And also for the deli area, there's chips, crackers, and things on this shelf. And this little room over here, we sometimes call the kitchen or the deli. It has our dishwasher in here that you power on and you hit the fill button. It's filling up with water. And then you just kind of leave it and let the temp rise up until you can do your dishes. There's other storage back in here. You might be asked to do prep some meat and cheese platters at times. We have some different packages online that can order that option. So that could be part of your job, is putting together meat and cheese trays. And then we have kind of the utility room. There's this utility sink. Here's our mop buckets, our vacuum cleaner. Behind the door is our broom and dustpans. And any cleaners that you need. I go back and forth on what to use on the floor. We'll discuss that. So there's pineapple, pine sol back here, vinegar, or sometimes just Dawn dish salt for the floor, kind of on these shelves. And then we have one more little room back here. And this holds all of our bags. So we have our black 6 bottle bags. This box is your black 1 bottle. Here's some more tissue paper. And then 2 and 3 bottle bags here. And then all of the different portion cups that we use for the deli and just kitchen storage. Okay, now we're back in the warehouse room where I said we store all of our wines to stock the shelves out front. So follow me. You'll become very familiar with everything's marked. This is what I call as the mixed pallet. So we have pallets down below, we have pallets up above. We're not climbing constantly. So the guys, Dan and others that you will meet, are always wonderful about keeping this stocked with those wines that are on the top shelf. So you'll see that they're all marked. So you'll familiarize yourself. Pretty soon you'll know where everything is. This bin here, we recycle our cardboard. So we flatten all those and that gets taken out. And I want to talk a little bit about these 3 walk-ins back here. We have 3 on the back wall. The furthest to your right is a lot of Valkyrie pizza items, the cheese and meat that I talked about. The center one is where pop, water, extra, we try to put extra kegs in there so they're easier to get at. So when you need to restock those things, that's where those are at. And then hiding behind, here's our extra glasses, so when we need to restock the back of the bar, those are there. We need to pull out that pallet with the jack, and there's additional hopper kegs in that walk-in as well. Just want to talk briefly about the different types of tastings that we do here. Obviously you can buy glasses and bottles, but when people come in, it's $11. They get 5 of these poker chips, and this is the standard tasting. And you give them a 1 ounce pour for each chip. And they get to pick any wine off of our menu. This is our menu, front and back. And then they get to take home stemless glass, because I talked about we had 2 different glasses. So that is the basic standard pouring. We also have a wine club here, and I'll go into more detail about that. The wine club members get free samples. They are handed this piece of paper, and they can choose any 5. And then on the back is all of our wines for them to sample. They do not get to take home the glass, and they use the stemmed. This just helps us know the difference if it's a paid tasting or if it's a wine club member enjoying their sampling. So when a guest comes in and said they have a skull crawl tasting, they will produce this punch card. So we punch off the Carlos Creek on the top, so we know that they, and then they get $2 off a tasting, so it's a $9 tasting. And again, they can use the 5 poker chips and choose any 5 off of the menu. Now I'm going to talk about guests that come in with a passport book. This book they can take to many different wineries, and they will come in, and it looks like it's usually a burgundy color, says passport on it, and that gets them a free tasting. In the back of their passport book, which I don't have one to show you, there's a place where we can stamp so they know that they have been here. Like I said, they get the free tasting with that, and then the passport also gets them 10% off wine purchases. This is kind of the center of the bar, kind of the beehive of it. Everything kind of happens right here. I want to talk a little bit about some files here. This brown one, I generally store events for the weekend or days upcoming, weddings, other celebration packages when people come in and reserve something. There is information on the ports in here. If there's any wine club updates. I always have a meeting Saturday morning before we start, so we kind of go over all this stuff. Here's where the training book will be kept with all the wine information. So if you get stumped by a customer, you can always grab them. They'll be right here. There's a list of employees here. Employees get extra goodies for being here, percentages off and things. So we have a list of employees, so if you don't recognize someone, please ask for their ID. Also in this folder, we have some incident reports. So by our back counter, I have a calendar, and on that calendar I'm going to put who was working that day, what the weather was like, and then if a major incident, like someone gets hurt or you have problems with someone drinking too much, we're going to highlight on the calendar incident report, and then this needs to be filled out with all of the information about the situation, what went down in very detailed form. Now, as you check out our central location here, you'll see a lot of different gadgets. Here's our phone. So we're going to start. We have a foil cutter. Some of you may or may not. When I started, wasn't familiar with the foil cutter. And you just place it on top of the bottle, and it takes that foil right off the top. A tool that we use numerous times a day, and you get really good at it. Don't worry, I used to break corks all the time. Watch me now probably break this cork in half because aha, success. We'll go over that if I went too fast. This item is we use for the end of a day. This is, what is this called, Jana?
Vacuum bin.
A vacuum, yeah. And then this is the pump. I was going to say pump, and then this went away. So it just takes the air out of the wine and preserves the wine. Okay. Now I'll show you the rest of our tasting room where our guests get to hang out. We have the two entrances, and this is one of the rugs we vacuum, and there's a rug outside the door that we like to vacuum as well. Turn on some lights here. These are like on dimmer switches. There we go. Oh. This is till 1. So in the tasting room we have a total of 4 tills. This one we don't stock with any chilled wines, but we do have some wine for bottles that they can purchase. We don't do tastings from this till because all of our wine is behind the bar, but we can take care of retail transaction, bottle transaction. We can sell a tasting, and then they have to go up to the bar to actually do the tasting. And here we have more retail, snack items, dips, crackers, chocolates. This is usually my deli, which is, because of COVID, empty. Cheese cups, meat and cheese trays, pretzels, hummus, different varieties of snacks and things for our guests to enjoy. And here is our water and pop that needs to be stocked out of that back cooler. And we offer some napkins, plates, plastic silverware for our guests. And there's the second entrance and our seating area. As you can see, this is a big area to mop. So chairs are up mostly right now because we have been deep cleaning. And on a busy Saturday, we have music that plays. During the summer, music is on Saturday and Sundays, and if it's nice outside, they set up out there. In the wintertime, we have music on Saturdays, so they are in here, and this place is packed, and we're all having a great time. By till 1, we touched on a few of the retail items, the snack items. Over on this side of the tasting room, we have more clothing wear, puzzles. Mickey does a great job. There's purses, jewelry, blankets. I mean, we'll just kind of look around a little bit and look at all of the great variety. And you will be restocking, kind of keeping an eye on. Customers will ask you for additional sizes. And I will show you where those are stored. Just have a ton of great items. And people take advantage. And these are cute little insulated wine purses with corkscrews in them. We sell scarves, hats. Jen probably showed you those. Here's where additional clothing is kept and folded. So that's could be part of your job as well. When stock comes in, we're needing to price and fold and put a size sticker on them. It's great. There's so many different things that we do here. I love the variety of it all. Always have, from pouring wine to folding clothes to putting together some meat and cheese. I always love that aspect of this job. So we have more sweatshirts. Stocking of these retail wines generally happen at the end of the shift or before your shift. Sometimes they can get pretty depleted. So the wine cases are approximately 40 pounds. So you do some lifting. And like I said, that's generally before or after your shift, or when the shift starts or before we leave. These are getting stocked. And then we have some extra, this is our cave. I didn't talk about the cave. But on either side of the cave, we have extra storage for, there's retail items that you can stock and other storage here as well. So here we are, we're going to brave the cave. This is a self-guided tour that our guests can come down, and it gives them tons of information about when the winery started, what grapes are grown, different kinds of corks it talks about down here. Just kind of take a look around. Of course, as we come down here, we have to make sure it's clean, there's no broken glasses. Do a quick run through. In the summertime, we have a dehumidifier that runs down here. Don't show them the cobwebs. So that needs to be emptied at the beginning of the day and the end of the day. And when we get over there, I'll show you where that's at. And then these barrels, there is wine and beer. And there's actually more than one dehumidifier down here in the summer, so as we walk by, there's like 3 of them, I believe, that run, because it does get damp down here. Sometimes if it rains, we can't allow guests down here. We have big jugs. And then we have a comment area. Here's our different corks. They can leave us comments. And here's one of our humidifiers. Hello, welcome to Carlos Creek Winery. Are you here to do a tasting today? Great. How our tastings work, they're $11. You get 5 samples. I give you 5 of these chips, and you pick your 5 wines, and then I take a chip away. Your sample is a 1 ounce pour. You're welcome to hang out at the bar, or you can take your chips and go sit at a table. I really wanted to emphasize at this point, as the last clip showed, when customers come in, greet them immediately, make them feel welcome to the winery. Hello, how are you? Have you been to the winery before? And then ask them if, maybe where they're from, welcoming them. Ask them if they're ready for a tasting or a glass of wine. Hand them a menu. So some of you might ask, we do 1 ounce pours. How do we know they're 1 ounce pours? These training videos are wonderful, but there is some on-the-job training. So I have a wine bottle here, and I just put water in it. So when you guys are here with me face to face, we will actually be practicing what that 1 ounce pour looks like. Now most of the bottles feel the same. I have a lot of muscle memory because I've been doing this a while. There is a difference between our Moscato bottles. They're heavier. So I will probably have these filled with water as well, and you will be doing just a lot of practicing of pouring those 1 ounce pours. Now a glass of wine here at the winery is a 5 ounce pour, and there's a line on the glass, Carlos Creek Winery, and there's a line. That is your 5 ounce pour. So you pour your wine up to that line. In conclusion, I just would like to go over our closing duties. Number 1 on the list is to flip the sign to close. I forgot to add that in our opening. Of course, we would flip it to open to start the day and close at the end of the day. Number 2 is garbages. So that's behind the bar, in the bathrooms, in the tasting room, and in the summer we would also check the ones outside. Over in the pergola, under the awning, and just checking all over the campus for full garbages. And the garbages go out the back door by their employee entrance. There's a bin that they all go into. The wines, we close the fridges, or combined, we bring to the center if we're not planning on having a busy day. Say come Monday, we kind of try to combine wines into one fridge, so we work from that center section. Or we pump them so they stay fresh. Wipe down all tables, counters, the barrel tops, the bar, and then we have some sanitizing disinfectant spray that we spray over everything as well. Straightening tables and chairs inside and out. The tables outside can also be washed and wiped down. Under the pergola in the summer, those chairs and tables need to be straightened if there's no guests still sitting on them. We close earlier than the brewery, so there's still going to be guests on the campus. When we leave for the day, glasses, we make sure those are all caught up for the next day, washing those, drying those, restocking the back of the bar with the glasses from the back warehouse. And then we drain and shut off the dishwasher if we don't have an event in here. And the events people then take care of that for the day. Wine fridges, the chilled wine I especially like to have stocked for the next day, so they're cold and ready for our guests. The shelves sometimes depend on how busy we are or what time of the night it is. Generally behind the bar we stock. Sometimes the retail we leave for the next day. That's just kind of a day-by-day thing, and you will be instructed on how to do that. We didn't talk about dump buckets. They're stored in the back kitchen area. They're a silver-looking bucket. Guests will dump their wine in if they don't like it, or trying to, so we clean those out, run them through the dishwasher. Check humidifiers in the cave, which we talked about. Turn off all of the lights and lock the door, and we check that 2 or 3 times to make sure we're all secure and ready to go for the end of the evening. And then we close the gates as we leave. The gates are, if you come in during the day and they are shut, please open them. It's all of our responsibilities to manage the gates. If we do have weddings and things and the brewery is open later than we are, we probably won't have to close them, but there will be times when I will ask you to close them. The main thing will probably be if they're not open, just make sure they're open. I can't wait to work with you guys all in person, and welcome to our team.